What's up, movie lover badasses? Fat Samurai Guy here with Lady Fat Blood, and today we're going to review Hardcore Henry. Here's a quick plot synopsis.
I fooled you!
Fooled you!
There's no plot.
No. Now we're going to give you the good, we're going to give you the bad, we're going to give you the badass. First up, the good.
So surprisingly enough, the lack of a plot, it doesn't matter! This movie is so much fun! The basic bare bones of the story is you get this guy, he wakes up and he finds out he's been turned into this cyborg, and through a series of various circumstances, he gets led around by the amazing Charlton Copley, who basically keeps appearing in different characterization throughout the film, and he basically says, okay, now you gotta go here and you gotta kill these people. And now you gotta go here and you gotta kill these people. It's so simple!
That's it. That's it. The basic plot, if you want to call it that, is Henry's trying to rescue his wife, and he runs into this evil albino-looking motherfucker with a really bad wig, horrible wig, who has telekinetic powers, because, come on! Because! And basically has to stop the bad guy. That's it. There's nothing else in this movie. That's it. Now for the bad.
This movie is filmed entirely in first-person perspective. Now, you know what first-person perspective is. It's essentially a video game for an hour and a half. You think you can't handle that, I wouldn't recommend you going in and thinking that you're going to come out of this in one piece. I actually get motion sickness very easily, and I was very nervous about going and seeing this in the theater, but I had heard a lot of stuff about it, and I wanted to give it a shot. We sat in the very back, and the theater that we were at, the screen wasn't very large, and I didn't have to take my Dramamine. Hey.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I've gone into movies like this with headaches, and I believe we saw the movie Doom several years ago.
Mm-hmm. That
actually gave me a headache. For some reason, I was fine, but there are no breaks in this movie. It is first person all the way. The narrative is you are through Henry's eyes, so some people are going to have a massive problem with just the visual style alone. One of the things that I noticed that because this is an hour and a half of this perspective, your eyes, especially once the action kicks in, it doesn't let up for very much throughout, so your eyes might get a little, you're going to have this period where you're going to get adjusted to it, but then after a while you're just going to be like, okay, I can't tell what's going on anymore, because there is a lot of frantic action, especially towards the middle. We have a couple of chase sequences.
Not necessarily shaky cam, but just being in that first-person view, you kind of have no choice but to get the jitter effect a little bit here and there. So that's your first warning. If you can't handle the first-person view, okay, then don't even bother, all right? The other warning is the movie's budget, okay? It's a very low-budget movie, and I think while we were in the theater, I think the first maybe 10 to 15 minutes into the movie, I was like, oh boy. I was like, oh man, okay, this is, all right, we have an open mind. We give any type of movie a shot, whether it's good, great, bad, crap. We give it a shot. We have an open mind. So I sat there patiently.
Hello, Kickstarter.
And yeah, I was like a little concerned there. Not necessarily for us, but mostly for people that we want to recommend the movie to. It was just kind of like, a lot of people are going to have a problem with the low budget look of the film.
Yeah, this was based off of, I want to say, one or two short films that this director had been a part of. And it looks like it should have been a short film. It looks like they took a short film and they expanded it to 93 minutes. While I didn't have a problem with this, and you consider this is such a low-budget movie that for what they did, it's great, but some people...
Yeah, some people, after the first 20 minutes, they'll be like, oh, what the hell is this shit? Click! So we have to warn you. And now for the badass. So after the first 20 minutes go by, the movie starts and it never stops, okay? And it's freaking awesome, okay? It's just so much fun. This movie's just so much fun. Is it a gimmick movie? Yes, with the little GoPro camera effects. Yeah, it could be looked on as a gimmick film, but it's done so well, you don't give a shit, you know? The stunts in this movie, man, I was more interested in the behind-the-scenes aspect of the film. Like, I want to watch the behind-the-scenes when the Blu-ray comes out. I want to see how these stuntmen and the cameramen did these types of shots. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, you got parkour moments, hand-to-hand combat moments. You got all these crazy stunts in the movie, and it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, and guess what, gore junkies? We had a couple of moments that because we're kind of twisted in our sense of humor, and
It's fun.
we had a couple of moments where I was
Yes.
you know, not that seeing a guy's head blown off in real life is cool, but when it's done in the movies, it's pretty freaking awesome. And this was one of the goriest films I've seen in the theater in a long time. So if you don't like gore,
Yeah, the opening credits to this movie shows a knife slowly going through a guy's neck and coming out. That's the opening credits, okay? If you can't handle that, then don't even bother with this type of movie. This is the greatest video game movie ever made that's not based off a video game, okay? You got a sniper level, you got an on-rail shooting gun level. I mean, one of my favorite parts is in the vehicle, okay, shooting a Gatling gun and driving straight through another van. It's beautiful. And the end finale. This movie's so over the top, the end finale feels like a boss level. It really does feel like you finally made it to the final boss, and it's great.
bottom line, don't go in thinking too hard. This is the simplest plot you're ever gonna see in an action film. We had a blast. I highly recommend going in and seeing this with a group of friends on a Friday night or something.
Still smiling.
Yeah, it's just one of those fun romps that you get to see every once in a while. If you think you could handle a theatrical run, try to see it on the big screen. I think it's worth it. You gotta respect what the filmmakers did here. This is a fun little kind of experiment. You could there was no guarantee that this was going to work on the big screen or that people would actually give a shit about this. I really hope that this doesn't become like a thing where other people try to emulate this, like the Paranormal series. For the love of God, don't do that. I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel one day, but hey, let's try to keep this its own little thing. Let's not try to shoot off and make Hardcore Henry ripoffs. Asylum! Again, mad props to the director, the stunt crew, the cameraman, everybody involved. You did a fantastic job. I highly recommend this to action junkies and video game junkies.
So remember, there's nothing wrong with mindless action as long as it's fun. So we give Hardcore Henry 3.9 out of 5 stars. So that's it for today's episode. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of Hardcore Henry. We appreciate all you guys watching. You guys rock. We'll see you next time.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.